Welcome to House Fly Box. Today we're going to tie the Skittle. Skittle is a great search pattern for me. It's called Fish Coast to Coast. It's a solid performer. It's excellent as a dropper. Just an all-purpose nymph. With, I would say, a trigger point of the chartreuse wire. Let's go over how I tie it. Very simple pattern. Almost makes you feel guilty catching fish with it. It's so easy to tie. I start out with a size 12 to 14 caddis emerger hook or scud hook and a gold bead. I'll apply about 10 wraps of wire behind the bead. And I'll seat that right behind the bead. That's mainly just to seat the bead. And then I'm going to start my thread. It's Olive Done Uni. And I'll bind that down, keep that lead in place. Then I'll give a decent thread base. Back of the hook. And missing a piece. Okay. Do a decent thread base all the way back. And then I'm going to bring my thread right up to the back of the lead. At this point, you're going to tie in your wire. I use the BR size ultra wire, chartreuse. I tie it in on the side of the hook, right behind the lead, and bring it back to the same point we stopped the thread base. Next, you're going to take 3 strands. I like to even them out and then take about the first inch off of the tips. Tie it in tip first, right behind the lead. And bring your thread back again, bind it down to the same point as the wire, and then come back up. Next I'm going to take, this is a size 12 hook, I'm going to take a size 16 dry fly hackle. And I'm not fancy with this hackle, so I'm not worried about trimming it. But I'm going to tie it in tip first. And it doesn't matter whether you tie it in dry fly fashion or wet fly fashion. Tie it in right behind the thread again, or the lead again, and then bind back over it. I said you're not worried about whether you capture anything. You'll see why. And then you're going to bring your thread all the way to the front. Next you're going to gather up all your materials, and I'll sweep it back. Sweep most of the fibers back for the hackle. And at the base of the hackle, I'm going to grab all the materials. And then I'm going to spin it with my shepherd's hook. If you get a dubbing tool, that works too. But you're going to spin it till you get a decent dubbing loop. And you'll see as you spin it, the hackle stands up. And you'll be able to tell when your rope is getting right. But the hackle is going to stand up on its own. I'm going to trim that excess wire off so it gets out of my way. And then you're going to palmer it forward. Just palmer that dubbing rope forward. You're not going to build it up. It's just going to be a single layer. And you'll see as you wrap it, hackle stands up just like dry fly hackle. And if your rope starts to loosen up or open up, because to wrap it tight enough all the way to the back, there's a lot of tension. Sometimes you'll snap things. So about halfway through, or however many times you have to. Tighten up your loop. And you're going to bring that right up tight to the bead. And then tie off. Right behind the bead. Snip off your excess. A few wraps behind the bead to secure. And with finish. And trim off your thread. You can take any stray strands that just for your own satisfaction that may be up around the bead you don't want. But there it is, the Skittle. 3 materials bound together. Trigger point of the chartreuse wire comes through real nice in the water. This thing catches anything. Catches bluegills, whitefish, trout, anything you throw it at. Bass take it as a dropper behind a popper. Just a great all-purpose simple nymph that you can tie, keep in your box. I have about a dozen of these with me at any given time in each size. Like I said, I tie it in 12 and 14. There it is, the Skittle. Hope it adds to your box. Thank you very much.